Today, I kind of want to go over my story. I know that I've already talked about the fact that I was depressed and suicidal before, but I never really took the time to properly explain my story and just share that there is, the light at the end of the tunnel, and it might not be something that you think of at first, but there really is.
When did you start to get depressed?
I don't know what the grades are in America, but for us, it's like the second grade of high school. So it was like the first or the second grade. The transition from primary school, I think it is, or at least, the school that you go to, like eighth grade before you go to high school, was very hard for me. And I am not very good at adapting. And at that point, when I arrived at high school, I kind of felt a separation from other people that were in the school, and I think it just started at that point. Oh my god, this is so difficult.
What do you think triggered your depression?
So, I have always been very different from most of the people that I meet, and I have always had a hard time figuring out why and what the difference was that was within myself and what it was that made me so different from other people. And I think that when I was younger, I really wanted to just fit into a certain group of people. I wanted to be accepted, I wanted to be loved, I wanted to feel important. And when I was in high school, I really didn't feel like that. I didn't really know what I wanted myself. I didn't really know how to grow into the person that I wanted to be. And back when I was younger, I think I just got into a stage of me showing and sharing empathy with a lot of people. And something that is very, very interesting about me is that I get affected by other people's emotions so much. I never am able to separate myself from someone else. If someone else feels like shit, I kind of feel like shit too. And I started to feel like I just didn't really fit in, and I felt like I was someone that, I didn't really know how to fix that problem, which I thought was a problem in the first place. And then I kind of got into the habit of talking to people on the internet, and I got into the Tumblr times. And as I don't know who the people are that are watching this right now, but if you are someone that knows Tumblr at that time, you know that self-harming and all of that stuff was really glamorized at that point. And I think that I just started to become so sad because I just didn't understand what was wrong with me and what I had to do in order to be able to be a part of all of the people that were surrounding me and the friend group that I had. And I always just felt like I didn't quite make the cut. So I think that was kind of what started my depression.
What did your daily life feel like?
So I think at the time, I don't know, I just felt really empty. I didn't really know how to enjoy things anymore. I didn't know what to do on a daily basis, and all I could do was just be really, really fucking sad and not really, like, at one point I just didn't really feel anymore. It was just like I turned off that part of myself and I started to really sink into nothingness and just not understanding and constantly questioning everything in my mind, and then having to go to school and having that enhancement of seeing that people knew I was kind of different and not really being able to be who I wanted to be because I didn't really know who that was. And I think day-to-day life just kind of became surviving for me. I didn't really know how to live. I didn't really know how to find things that I would enjoy, and I just spent so much time talking to people that felt the same way that I just really, really went way deeper into my depression because of that reason, because I was so affected by other people's emotions. And I think that it just felt like a burden. It just felt like I don't know, I didn't know what to do with myself.
Were you conscious about the fact that you were depressed, and were you trying to get out of it?
Oh. So I don't know. I don't think that I really knew what depression was at that point. I think that depression to me just meant being really sad, and I was around people that felt sad all the time, and I even met this other girl that was in my class that self-harmed as well, and I saw that and I was like, "Oh, it's kind of normal. It's, maybe this is something that everyone kind of goes through. Maybe this is the factor of relatability in my life. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I just know that I knew that it felt like my life was just not quite worth living, and that I don't know, I just felt so absorbed into all of that. So I don't think I was consciously aware of the fact that I was depressed in the first stages of it. Like after I self-harmed and after my mom found out about that, I was aware. Very much so. But before that time, I just thought that I was just a sad girl.
You just mentioned that your mom saw that you self-harmed. So did your family know what you went through?
I don't think they did. I also don't think that it's very easy to understand. I think that depression is something that just hits you, and sometimes there is no clear reason behind it or something that people can understand. I think it's just a matter of you being very, very, very cornered by your own problems, and because of that reason, just kind of feeling sad and empty and miserable. And I think that I think it was very hard for my family to understand, and especially for my mom. I know that my dad comes from a past of being in the same state and also self-harming. So I know that at that point she tried to connect me to someone that understood me, but we didn't really have a good relationship, me and my dad, so at the time. So it wasn't a possibility for me to talk to him. And then I think my mom really tried to help me out because she wanted me to go to the psychologist and she wanted me to talk to someone. And I think that she really would have loved for me to talk to her, but at that time I just didn't know how to explain what I was feeling. I didn't even know why I was feeling it, what I was feeling, why it was becoming worse. And I just know that my mom was so sad about it. Like, she would see things that I was looking at and she would just be so kind of like terrified in a way. Like, you could just see that she was very, very scared to see that this is something that I would be looking at day in, day out, and that she didn't know. I think it's really fucked up when you as a parent realize that you didn't know. And I think that it's interesting because I never thought she could know, or I didn't want her to know. I just thought that this was something that I had to go through by myself, but at the same time you feel so alone. So it's kind of weird when I think about it now. But I don't think they really understood. Maybe my dad did, but he was not ready to talk about it at that moment. And I just know that my mom didn't understand, but she tried to help.
Did you attempt suicide?
So this is like one of those topics that... So there have been many times when, oh my god, I don't even think I've ever said like any of this to anyone. So there have been many times where I would be at a train station or at a crossroad where I was so ready to, oh my god, emotional. Whew.
I'm not gonna hug you just because of the video.
Oh my god, that was not planned.
I am very good at asking questions.
Oh my god. So, whew. There have been many times where I have been at that point, but I think that for me, what really kind of kept me with 2 feet on the ground is that I knew what that would do to my mom, and I was not gonna put her through that. Whew. A moment. I think that as someone that is depressed, you can get really caught up in everything that you're feeling, but I think I've always been a very conscious person, so I knew what it would do to my family and to my mother, and I knew that she'd already lost someone, so if she were to lose me as well, I think she would go bananas. Absolutely crazy. So I've been at that point many times where I've stood there and I really, really, really wanted to just go, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't be selfish, and I think that the moment I really kind of stepped away from that is when I realized that there are so many people that want to live. There are so many people that are really, really struggling to live right now, and they want to so badly, but something has just decided that they can't if they're sick or if life gets taken away from them all of a sudden. And when I became aware of that, I was like, I'm not. Who am I to take a life that was given to me? While I should be grateful for it, while I should be, experiencing everything that I could experience. So I've never actually tried. I mean, I was on sleeping pills and I would try to take more of them. This is so vivid. Disclaimer, alarm, but it never really, it was very regulated. I also know that my mom would definitely know if I did that, and like I said, I really couldn't put her through that. So thankfully, I've never had the the possibility to do any of that, though I've been at that point many, many, many times.
So did you actually want to die?
I think that people, we don't really want to die. We just, living is just fucking horrible at the time, and you just don't know how to get out of the situation that you're in at that moment. You don't know how to manage your emotions. You don't know how to feel better about the life that you're living. So because you're in so much pain, dying kind of feels like it would be peaceful, like you would be at ease with everything that's going on, and your brain would not continuously torture you into everything that it's thinking, and you're just hurting so bad that dying just feels like the easier option, which is fucking crazy.
Do you think suicide is selfish?
So I don't think it's selfish. I also don't think it's not selfish. I just think it like I said before, I just think it is. I think that we at the time make a decision based on our emotions, and we don't really take into consideration what that might do to other people and how they might feel about that situation, and we just feel the pain. Like there's such a pain going on inside of you that you don't think about the consequences. You don't think about what that might do to someone else. But I'm very glad that I had the possibility to still put my 2 feet on the ground and say I could not do this to my family, because when you kill yourself and your family is left behind, that is something that might put someone else through the exact same experience as you went through, and they might not recover from that. So I think that some people might think it's selfish, but I don't think I agree.
Are you a happy person now?
Yes, I definitely am a happy person now. I am it's fucking wild that I was at this stage in my life at one point, and I think that I could never imagine what it would be like if I was not here today. Like, I don't know how how I could even think that everything that happened to me at that point was final, that that was the end point to my journey, and that all of this wouldn't have come. So I am very, very, very happy today, and I'm very grateful for everything that I have experienced and all of the people that I've met throughout my journey, and everything that I've been through, and everything that, you know, that has happened to me or for me made me who I am today. And I'm very grateful to be able to share that with other people and to just be alive. Like, I'm very, very grateful to be alive and to be able to do everything that I do today. So I'm very happy.
It's good to hear you're happy, but do you feel like you still feel sad or depressed at times?
So I think that once you have had a an encounter with a very deep darkness, sometimes it's very hard to keep that at bay. But I think that the difference between when I was younger and now is that I'm able to become aware of those emotions and understand why they're there and what they mean and what they're trying to tell me, and accept that they just want to be loved and they just want to be nurtured, and I don't need to push away the feeling of sadness. I just need to sit with it and give it what it needs, and just understand that it's okay to be sad, but it's not okay to let yourself suffer because of it. It's not okay to let yourself be carried away because of it, because there's so much more to life than temporary sadness. And I think that, yes, sometimes I get sad for no reason, and I just really need a moment to sit with myself and reconsider everything, and to just talk to myself and write stuff out and get out of my head and into the reality, the current state that I'm in. And I think that that is what really pulls me back in. I think that now I'm able to understand myself better. And when I was younger, I didn't have that possibility because I didn't know who I was, and now I do.
What is the main thing that got you out of depression?
I think awareness. I think that once I became aware of the gift that life is and all of the beautiful experiences that you might have, I just started to understand that I didn't need to be sad forever. I could pull myself out of it. I had the power to do that. I just had to make the decision. I just had to take one step forward each day, and that would be enough. I didn't need to build an entire new life in a day. I just needed to move forward and understand myself and listen to myself and love myself and carry myself with something other than hatred and being dissatisfied. I think that now I'm just able to grow, and I understand who I am and what I need, and that just makes it so much better.
If you could go back and speak to your younger self, what would you say?
What you're going through right now is it's not the end. It's not even the beginning. It's just a state that you're in right now, and maybe it will last, but maybe it won't. And I think that you're curious enough to try and figure out what's beyond this and all of the people that you might meet, because I know that you love meeting new people and talking to them. I know that sometimes you feel unheard, and sometimes you feel like no one really notices you, but they will. And the light that you're gonna bring into this world is fucking crazy. You probably can't even imagine it right now, but you just gotta pull through. And I know you can, because you're strong enough to do that. So just believe in yourself and understand what it means to find love within yourself instead of in other people.
Now that we have talked about past Queena and present Queena, what does the future Queena have to bring to the world?
So I think she has a lot of experience to bring to the world. I think that she knows what it's like to feel sad. She knows what it's like to feel like there is no tomorrow. And sometimes today might not even matter to her in the past. But now she knows what that is like, so she can understand that there is so much more to it. And I want to be able to give that to all people and to make everyone understand that what you're going through right now doesn't have to define your forever. It might be today where you feel sad. It might be tomorrow. It might be for another month or another year. But there is sunshine behind the clouds. And I think that you just need to find someone that can help you see that. And that someone is most likely going to be yourself. And you just need to dig deeper to find her and talk to her and understand her and listen to her, because that's, or him even, or whatever you want to be called. But that is what is going to help you get out of the situation. But if you keep thinking that what you're going through right now is definitive and that this is the end, then it might be. But you don't want it to be, because there are so many beautiful things to experience in life and so many things that you have yet to see. I know that I just want to teach people that in the environment that we're in, it can feel like it's the end, that the situation that we're in is something that we're going to be stuck in forever. But how can we think that if we haven't even seen a small percentage of the world, met a small percentage of the people that we will encounter throughout our entire life? We can't. And there are better days that are coming, and they're always right around the corner, but you just have to wait for long enough to be able to see that and to experience that. And I want to help everyone see that. So, I'm very happy that you guys were with me today and that you listened to me and that you have been able to see a little bit of kind of like the other side of me, Dark Queena. But I just want you to know that whatever you need and whenever you need it, if you ever feel like you want to talk to someone, if you ever feel like you just need someone to listen, then I'm always going to be there. And don't ever feel too scared to reach out, because the solution is right at the tip of your fingers, but you do need to grasp it in order to bring it in and be able to use it for yourself. So I hope that everyone, had a great time listening to my experience, or an awful time. I don't know what you were trying to get out of this, but I am happy that I shared that because it was necessary. So I love you guys, and I will talk to you in the nearby future, I hope.